Warning: the No AC Only Fans podcast may include content not suited for non-mature audiences who can't take a joke. We would like to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. Enjoy.
Welcome in to the No AC Only Fans podcast with your host, Big Crispy, aka Big Simpin, aka Tyler Gum. Sitting across the table like always, my main man going through the same bullshit that we be going through. That's Mr. Pronouns Big Dick. Oh, my bad. I said that wrong. It's dick, long dick, whatever, long dick, dick.
I got the long dick, I got the thick dick.
I thought you was going to say I'm fucked up a little bit. Hey, yeah, he got the big dick energy. Don't play. Energy. But you know what? We be going through it right now. So, you know, my man, Christian Klein.
We about to get locked up. They won't let me out. Ooh. They won't let me out. Hey, but all I got to say is, I'm about to fucking step on my soapbox real quick and say, what we want to say on this podcast is our business. And who we bring on this podcast, who may or may not, they might have got a ride from their mom and daddy. They may or may not have not. If they got a ride from their mom and daddy to come on this podcast and say whatever it is that they want to say, that's their business. Mm-hmm. I think there are certain times when we may or may not say some names. We probably should not do that. But sometimes them motherfuckers need to be name dropped. Big Chris knows it just as well as I do.
Hey, I'm not gonna, we're just gonna shoot it straight right now because, we did the we did the right thing in the moment for now. I'm just gonna say this, bro. It's one thing to be mad, but it's one thing to be fake and then be mad. Yeah, because you being don't fucking sit there and play around and be like, oh yeah, this, I support you, I do this, I do all that bullshit, blah blah blah. When you have motherfuckers literally hitting us up saying, bro, blah blah blah's talking shit about you, blah blah blah's hating on you and shit like that. We're not confronting you because we really don't fucking care. You know what I mean? We're not childish. So, when motherfuckers hit me up and said this person really don't fuck with you like that, they just be shitty towards you. I ain't say nothing to you. I ain't fucking hit you up.
Fuck them. Don't give a fuck.
Fuck them. But you know what? Your name got dropped. Sure, your name got dropped. Both our names got dropped. You know what, motherfucker? You know what? I really don't care.
Hey, I've been name dropped on this shit
and it's
so many times, and you know what? I love every moment.
Hey, you know what's funny about it?
It's good content.
You know what's funny about it too?
What's up?
Is people can name drop all they want, but one of them people's also got their shit rated by label.
Whoa! Wait, what?
Hey, you're gonna have to turn my headphones down, bro. It's loud as shit.
You don't remember that?
Wait. Brandon by label. Dude, no.
There was a story going around. I heard that a train got ran on a certain somebody and you was involved.
Who? Listen, we're not gonna set those wheels on them tracks.
Christian,
yet, okay?
Who do you think I'm talking about right now?
Not anything to do with this.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, somebody that. Never mind. I ain't gonna bring it up, but somebody that decided to hate on the podcast, say that we use people's personal problems for views.
Bro, who said that shit?
You did.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
It's all good. If you like dick and you like it slick, I guess you like that KY jelly.
I don't know about all that, but no.
It's no big deal. It is what it is. People are gonna get pissed off out throughout the years. There's probably a lot of motherfuckers that don't know.
I just step into
their names were dropped on the podcast and shit throughout some time. We've dropped a lot of names on this motherfucking podcast.
Yeah, you're right.
We don't do it to hurt anybody's feelings. We do it because it's a funny story and we want to tell it.
It's good content.
Yeah, fuck. Like, we're not trying to hurt your feelings or like make you feel like shit or like make you out to be a piece of shit. I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it. But like,
still a piece of garbage.
It's not my fault if you take your story the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is like I'm refraining from now on from saying people's names because I know I shouldn't do it, but like nobody has said shit until now. So now I'm like, yo, I probably shouldn't have done that shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever. But in the same token, just like I talk about all the time about music, it doesn't matter what genre it is. Good music is good music. Funny shit is funny shit, no matter how you say it.
Or how dark sense of humor you have.
How dark it is. What type of video you're showing. When you boil it down, funny shit is funny shit. Motherfucker might be laughing at that shit and be like, damn, that shit was kind of fucked up.
You right.
You know what I'm saying?
We talked about a lot of controversial or crossing the line funny shit around here, but it's because it's our sense of humor. Not everybody's gonna have the same sense of humor.
They need to get their fucking panties out of their ass and just like...
Yeah, but you got to realize
it's
just like the whole Chris Rock and Will Smith thing. We can go ahead and talk about that bullshit.
Oh, shit.
But like the whole Chris Rock and Will Smith thing, like, bro, that was just Chris Rock doing comedy. That's his form of comedy. Not everybody has to like his form of comedy. But like at the same time, everybody wants to defend, Will Smith's point of view. But it's
he was standing up for his woman.
But the problem was he was laughing about it. Will Smith thought it was funny. He's getting manipulated by a girl that was out there fucking other dudes.
She was taking it in the butt, getting came. That motherfucker August Alsina came in her face and everything. Fucked her in the ass.
I hate to say it, but that was real manipulation on her end, and everybody's talked about that. That's manipulating by her. I mean, now if they so-called have an open relationship and they're both fucking other people, sure, whatever. But she legit makes that man crazy because she fucking knows she can just have him do whatever.
But my thing is about that whole situation is that why is it that everybody knows who she fucked, but there are no women coming out and be like, yeah, I fuck Will Smith. So Will Smith basically is just like, yo, you can fuck who you want. I ain't doing that.
Maybe he's lying. Maybe he's lying. Maybe he loves her so much that he's going to sacrifice his own happiness.
Let her do whatever she wants because he loves her so much.
The pursuit of happiness. She's pursuing other men and he's still happy.
Obviously, that motherfucker is not happy.
Probably not, but I mean, he doesn't want to get divorced from his wife either. He doesn't want to be
because he's been with her for so fucking long.
I think
comfortable.
But I also think he doesn't want to be another statistic.
Yeah.
Another, black man. No, he might not want to be another statistic. Another black man in America that gets divorced from his wife because she cheating. That might be what it is.
Well, listen.
That's what a lot of people don't want to get divorced, or a lot of people don't want to do specific things because they don't want to end up as a statistic of their race or of a certain stereotype.
I don't know. I feel like
I like that.
When people bring up statistics, it's always about. I mean, I don't want to bring up race or anything like that. I don't want to talk about that, but the things that you hear about are black men cheating.
Yeah, I mean, he's not cheating, but like still, I think there's a real high divorce rate and there's a real high divorce statistic out there, and he may just not want to fall into that. And especially being, a lot of rich people and a lot of Hollywood couples end up splitting up, right?
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to fall into that category. That could exactly be what it is.
Okay, I totally took it the wrong way because you had to point out that he didn't want to be a black man cheating.
Well, I didn't say cheating. I'm saying a black man that got divorced. I'm just saying like that could be. We don't know what he's thinking, but I'm saying it could be the Hollywood thing. It could be his, race and like how relationships usually end with how people think of it. Because there's a lot of judgmental fucks out there. That's the problem, right?
No shit.
So there's so many judgmental.
I thrive on it.
There's so many judgmental Americans right now that's probably why he like does not want to be judged by the world. But at the same time, like, low-key, everybody is still judging him for still being with his wife and still putting up with her bullshit. He just doesn't want to be judged the other way because then they're going to, you know how, this is my problem. You know how many of those women stood up for Jada when she was talking about her entanglement? Nobody said she was in the wrong. They were like,
of course
more power, sis. So he probably seen that and thinks, damn, even if I get a divorce from her, all the women are going to take her side and not mine.
Yep.
And then what's he get out of it? Nothing. He just gets shit on.
A whole lot of embarrassment.
Yeah, a whole lot of embarrassment, gets a whole lot of shit on, so he's just going to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just talk about how even like mainstream America, they don't give a fuck about men's mental health. They don't give a fuck about when men are hurting, what men are going through, when they're down and out.
Men kill themselves more than women.
Exactly. And that's one of the reasons why. Is because nobody gives a fuck when we're down and out. We're supposed to just tough it out and be real men about it.
Fuck that shit.
And that's just the way it is. It's fucked up, but it's just the way it is. What's your thoughts on it, Big Chris?
I mean, I see it. I mean, I see it completely. Like I said, I'm not saying like, I wouldn't say like it's man and woman, but like I get it because that was the same shit like my dad tried to go through and shit like that. He always, like, I was talking with you, we kind of talked about it last episode. He was so afraid to admit that everything wasn't perfect that he tried to lie and make it seem like everything was perfect, even though it wasn't. So, like, he didn't want to hurt his pride. So, like, when he lost his job and all that bullshit, like, he didn't want to go get a job at McDonald's or get a job to pay the bills because
he knew he was better.
Yeah, he was better. And he's like, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm better than that. I'm better than that. When in the long run, he probably should have went and just got a meaningless job until he found something better.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then,
some
but
money's
he didn't,
better than no money.
But then at the same time, like, he did not give a fuck to a point. Like, everything was sunshine and rainbows, right? But behind the scenes, I was sitting at home with no electricity. I was sitting at home with no fucking heat, you know, sometimes.
You saw behind the curtain.
No gas and shit like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Taking cold ass showers, taking cold out, you know, boiling water on the stove to take a bath if we had electricity. No fucking cable, nothing. Find something to do entertainment wise. Him never being home, me figuring out what the fuck to do with dinner, doing laundry and all that shit at like fucking in 6th grade and shit like that.
Grown ass man.
Yeah, like, you know, basically growing up and like doing shit like that. And then he loses, you know, he's so prideful and shit. But then to sit here and turn around and when it comes to 4th of July, he throws a giant 4th of July party and buys all this food and makes all this, you know, has a party at the house. Like everything's good, you know. Everything's, you know, fine. We're living the life.
He don't
when at the end of the day, so when at the end of the day, he does all that shit for, you know, a show. But then the next day, we're right back to the struggle. You know what I mean? Like that shit was annoying as fuck.
I think a lot of people hide behind shit. They don't want to accept it. They don't want to deal with it. We all have coping mechanisms.
I mean, I hide behind shit too. I mean, I feel it.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah,
and I think, like you talked about last episode, you said you feel like you've adapted some of those qualities.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I do some of the things he used to do because that's what I learned.
That's your fucking dad. Me and you were actually talking about this tonight when we were at the bar, and I looked at you and I said, sometimes when I get drunk, I can see how I act like my dad, and I fucking hate it.
Right.
And you said, that's your fucking dad. That's just how it is. And I said, I don't like that because I've seen it so many times, and like, I can just see myself acting just like him.
But you learned that from him. That's why you act like that. Though.
It's all you know.
I mean, it's all I know. Yeah, I get it, but that doesn't mean like I don't like it.
But it's hard to change it too when you don't know what to know what to change. You know what I'm saying?
When you don't know how to change it, like the one moment that has literally built you to how you are today. And he's obviously the biggest role model in your life because, fuck
my biggest role model now. My biggest role model has always been my grandpa, but he died.
You got to watch those still, right?
But, you know, where most of my dad got his shit from is from my grandpa.
Right. So,
in a way, but like they're totally different.
They be sending you hand.
I feel like I'm a lot like my dad, but I feel like when push comes to shove, I'm a lot more like my grandpa when you put it pound for pound. You know what I mean?
I mean, I get that because I mean that was the same thing. Like I was having a conversation last night when I was out and about with Savannah and shit. Like we were just having a real conversation and we were talking about the whole thing with my dad or whatever because Christian knows this, but the whole therapy sessions and shit that we've been kind of going through lately, which is whatever, and like some shit was kind of uncovered like in one part of the thing, but like. We haven't discussed this yet, but like I was kind of thinking about it and I was like, damn, dude, like I think the reason why like I'm so kind of like pissed off or whatever, you know, like about your like I don't want to talk about that situation or him because it's like one of those things is like I know I'm still mad about it, but I don't want to like somebody else to defend his actions saying like, oh, he was sick and you should realize like he was sick. You know what I mean? Because that's what I know a motherfucker's going to say. Mm-hmm. Because they're gonna say he has the same thing, but like you're so angry you don't want somebody to defend him, and you're like
because they just don't even know like your own family ties with that person.
And they're like, that's another thing is like we were talking about like if you don't see like you can sit here and I can have a conversation with you back and forth and you can defend somebody, but at the end of the day you don't see what goes on at home. You don't see what actually fucking happens behind the scenes.
Oh, of course
shit like
not.
That. So like when a motherfucker does defend somebody that doesn't deserve to be defended, like it's fucking annoying. Mm-hmm. You like get pissed off, and like that was the whole thing about like I kind of uncovered with my whole mom thing is like I didn't realize how much issues I really had with my mom until like we were talking about it, and I was telling Christian shit. It's like it was all the like I didn't realize like I was upset because, and I feel like I always wanted her just to like say, hey, like, good job. And she's never done that. And it's always like,
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. It was always like, you did this wrong. You did that wrong. It like,
how about a compliment?
Yeah. If I did something good, there was never something, you know, pointing out the good in the situation. It was always pointing out the bad in the situation. And the same thing when like, even if, you know, she did point out the good, it was kind of like shittily.
Like sarcastic.
Yeah, it just wasn't like the best. And
like
then
you did
now,
good, but you didn't do exactly what I wanted you to.
Right, and then now like there's a whole other situation. Is like I didn't realize how much her like sneak dissing was affecting me either.
And
like how much like
she did it for years, probably without you even knowing.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like how much like it actually hurt when she
put
would
all
say
of it together.
like when she would be like, "Oh, you're a lazy piece of shit because you don't want to do this." When really I was just depressed and didn't whatever. And when like I was going through my mental health shit, and then she was trying to get me help, and I was kind of like explaining this to Savannah. It was like that was not the help I wanted in that situation, and then I learned manipulation skills, pretty much from. When I was dealing with my dad and shit, because when they were getting divorced, I was going to the guidance counselor at school like every single week and shit like that. I eventually learned what to say to talk my shit, to talk my way out of a situation I didn't want to be in.
Yeah.
And like that was a habit I picked up from the both of them because I went through that shit. And then I didn't realize how much I applied that. And like every time like she took me to I don't know what it was, Buckeye, whatever, something.
Buckeye Donuts?
I know whatever the facility, the mental health facility was when I was in high school or some shit. This is when Christian moved away. I don't even know if I told you this story. But she took me there for an evaluation, like without me knowing, you know what I mean? Just like, hey, we're going out, and then just drove me straight there. I was super pissed about it. And I wasn't in the best place mentally, honestly. Like I knew that. But I manipulated my way out of the situation, talked my way out of it.
How'd you do it?
I was there for an hour.
Depth.
I just basically acted like everything was good. I was like, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Like, I'm perfectly fine. Sat there and they asked questions and I'm like, nope, I don't feel that way. No, whatever. Like, I changed my attitude. Like, I was deep down. I was like, I wanted to be mopey and I wanted to be depressed and I really didn't want to talk to anybody or whatever.
But you don't know this person, bro.
But then I put a chippery, cheery face on. I sat up. I changed my posture, put a smile on my face, and I'm like, I honestly don't know why the fuck I'm here. Like blah blah blah. And as a guidance, like. They may see that and they may realize like, damn, like we've dealt with this before, but
defense mechanism.
But at the end of the day, whatever I say, they can't book me on what I say. You know what I mean? They can't believe, oh, we think he's lying. We got to book him.
They can give opinions.
They can't do that. They got to book you upon your answers. So I knew to manipulate my answers enough to get out of there, and I got out of it. And I got out of it multiple times. And one time, like she called the cops on me once. and like had the police come up, and she wanted the police to take me in because I was laying in my bed sleeping all day and I wasn't doing anything.
Dude, when was this?
I've had the same thing happen
in high school.
Dude, grandma did the same thing with me.
It was the same situation. The cops come, they start asking me questions. I change my answers, change my tones. They're like, "Hey, have you ate anything today?" I'm like, "Yep," even though that was a lie. And I started lying because I knew the answers that I had to lie about and the answers I couldn't really lie about. And once again, manipulating my way out of the situation. And they told her, like, looked at her straight in the face and was like, "There's nothing we can do. Sorry. Like, we're going to leave." And then, as soon as they leave, I'm getting attacked by her because I didn't accept the help that she wanted to give me.
Exactly.
And I was like, that's not what I wanted.
My thing is what does she want to do? Put you in a fucking mental institution?
Pretty much. She feels like I have to get on medicine and I have to do that and blah, blah, blah. And when, like, I've explained to her multiple times, that's not the help I want. At the end of the day, like...
I just want you to talk to me.
Like, yeah, I just want someone to either talk about it or something like that. I don't need fucking medication. I don't want to be on medication.
But in the same token, I don't want to feel muted. The help you need isn't the help you want.
No, I get that, but
course,
I'm not saying that's wrong, but I don't like taking medication. I don't like going to the doctors in general.
Did you ever take Focalin?
No, I that's what I'm saying. I haven't taken
maybe
like
my
ADHD medications.
No.
Yeah, I took them all.
But like that's what I'm saying. I don't want to be. I know how it feels like when I've taken pain pills and shit like that for different things and being like zoned out or whatever, and listening to my other friends that have taken Adderall and taken medication and shit like that and depression meds and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's like I see how they act differently. I don't want to act like that. I want to be myself. And when I do go through the hard times, I am strong enough to fight through it. You know what I mean? I've never lost that battle yet. Or anything like that. Well, not like I don't want to say yet because like
it ain't gonna be a yet, bro.
But like I've always been able to get through it, and I know like I just know I'm like, yo, I'm going through it, like I'm good.
You're keeping your shit up, bro.
And I just like keep dealing with it until it's done. But like at the same time, like I'm not gonna sit there and put myself in a situation I don't want to be in. So I just keep my head up, do my thing. But sometimes you just want somebody there, and like that's the kind of good thing with adding
without
people
even you having asked too, bro. Like
without
what
adding.
If a random person just come up knocking on your door, hey, and you don't know me, I'm just saying, hey, are you okay? Do you need a hug today? Like some shit like that.
And adding certain people in your life for certain aspects helps and stuff like that. And luckily, I've had the addition of some people that have been very helpful and like. When they see something wrong, like they ain't afraid to say it, and they sit there and they talk and they make you feel better about the situation. And it's like, that's all I've wanted all along. That's it. I don't need, you know what I mean? I don't want somebody to do what else. Yeah. And like, it's like, I kind of found that comfortability in people where I can, sit there and be myself and like let down everything and actually talk about it and not feel like I'm going to get judged, and also not feel like somebody's going to take that and then use it as a weapon against me
straight up
in the future. You know what I'm saying?
It's the scariest thing doing that because like
they always use it against you in the end.
Yeah, but like
maybe not.
Maybe not. It's just like to get comfortable. You got to be uncomfortable. You got to get vulnerable. You just got to like be bare naked honest with your.
Can I talk about something?
That's it. And see.
It's like you really brought something up that like really hit home with me when you said like about your mom. You wanting your mom to say that she's proud of you.
Right.
And it really hit me at home because my dad has literally never told me that he's proud of me.
Yeah, I mean, ever. It's one
for
of those
anything that I've done, he has never told me that he is proud. Not that I can remember.
Dude, I love you. I'm so sorry.
Like, I remember that's one of the reasons why, like, I touch base with my grandpa because, like, God, this makes me.
Nah, you good, bro. Get vulnerable.
Like, I love my fucking dad, but, like, he has never told me that he's proud of me for anything I've done. It doesn't matter what it is. No, it's not like that. Like, it's fine.
Just keep going.
It's okay, bud.
Just keep going, dude. You hit me too, bro.
And, like, that's one of the reasons why I miss my grandpa so much because, like, he would tell me, like, yo, like, I'm proud of you. I'm glad you did this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And, like, one thing I will give my stepmom credit for she has always been good about that. Like reassuring me, yo, I'm proud of you. I'm glad that you did this. Blah blah blah. Well, fuck, my mom's never told me she's proud of me about shit.
Hey, you know what?
Every 10 years she'll tell me about how she found Jesus, but that's really about it. But
In the DMs saying that you gotta do
it's just
this.
fucking sad. Like, it's just sad because I know my dad loves me, but like, he just doesn't know
How to talk like that.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to tell you.
Because in his days, I don't know how your grandfather treated him, but
No, my grandpa, like...
I bet he treated him well. It's just like...
My grandma is the same way.
Just like my grandfather, dude, he was like, it's just a different time. Like, men didn't talk about shit. They kept it bottled up.
Oh, yeah, but, like, he's just like my grandma. My grandma's a woman, and she's like that.
Just don't tell anything? Like, don't say
ever,
anything?
yeah.
She's not nice about anything.
Nothing.
I mean, that happens. I get it. It's
I just don't
really
want to end
shitty.
up bitter. I don't ever want to end up bitter like that.
But like
It's
at the
not,
end of
I
the,
don't think it's a bitter thing. Like, maybe it is for my dad.
At
I
his-
don't know.
at the end of the
holding
day,
that
though-
shit in for literally years and years,
Right.
that makes somebody bitter. I would think.
But at the end of the day, you know what's good about it though, and you recognizing that the only good thing is like you realize that now, so you'll never pass that down along to your children or anything because you don't want them to feel the same pain that you felt and go through the same shit you did. So like you may feel like that now, but like you have a chance to change that in the future with your relationships and who you're gonna have in your life and shit. Like that's the only good thing about it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you also put that upon other people because when other people do good and shit, you are always there to be like, yo,
Good shit.
congratulations, you know, I'm proud of you and shit like that. You do it without even realizing it. And you know what I mean? So like
you do it out of the spontaneous
Yeah.
of your heart, bro. Like no one's got to ask you to give. Like no one's got to seek a compliment out of you.
so
Like, if
it
you
may
see
like
it-
yeah.
If you see like Big Crispy got a new promotion at work, bro, you know before he even tells you.
Yeah, we
That
go
type
out,
of
we
shit,
sell it.
bro.
We've
Yeah.
always done that. We've always gone out and celebrated and
Always.
shit like that and had fun and shit like that. We've always celebrated our accomplishments and shit. And, you know, there was a different meaning behind it that we just never knew about till now kind of deal. Because you never talked about that with me or anything. That takes a lot of balls to kind of speak up about and especially to be vulnerable for hundreds of people, thousands of people to see.
Hashtag
bring
big
it
dick
on.
energy.
You know what I mean?
Hashtag big dick energy.
Yeah,
Straight
and
up.
it's okay to feel that way though because sometimes you just gotta get it out and say it. Fuck.
Because everyone, you motherfuckers watching, has at least dealt with something like this. Some
Yeah,
type
for
of
real.
heartache. Some type of person that you always looked up to as a role model, not giving you the satisfaction that you actually deserve. But maybe then in your head that you're thinking that, oh, he's being tough on me because he knows that I'm going to get this and he's trying to be hard. But you know what? Some kids just need a hug and just be like, hey, you need to talk about anything today?
I think it's just more the fact that, like,
More love, bro. More love.
I think it's just sometimes you just need somebody to be like, yo, like, you're doing good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, dude.
congratulations. Like, I think it's just the satisfaction of a little bit of approval.
Fuck
Right.
You
I'm
don't get
smiling.
that shit.
No.
You know what I mean?
And just like what we were talking about at the bar and shit though, when you were comparing yourself basically from you were talking about your times at West Virginia and shit, and how we were talking about your brothers and like, you know, the struggle you went through and through everything there and didn't tell anybody. Look at you then and look at yourself now, and you realize how much growth there was too, and
You
how much
opened
shit
the
you
bottle.
changed it. Yeah, like you know,
You opened your bottle,
You
bro.
were sitting there saying like, you know, people really don't realize how much fucking struggle I went through because I just didn't tell anybody.
True.
And you was
I don't
going
need
through
no.
it, and then
I don't need no sob story.
Right,
I'm
and
gonna
then-
handle it on my own. But
you
Shit,
you're
that's
you
just
were at a
right.
place where you know your car ended up, you know, was gone or whatever, and you was having no place to stay
Hey,
and shit like
speaking
that.
of this-
now to
Oh, God,
fucking
oh, God,
You know-
having a place to stay, having a
Crazy
brand new
about this
car.
story, you know what?
all
I
that
told
shit.
I literally was telling my dad about this one night, and I was literally almost in tears talking about it. You know what he said? Good just came home.
Yeah, but he's
That's literally all he said.
he didn't have to go
Could
through
just
it.
came here.
He didn't go through it though, so he obviously isn't going to have the same feelings about it that you did. I mean, that was the thing.
You know what I'm saying?
You know
I
what's
know what
crazy?
you're saying, bro.
You know what's crazy about it? Because we were having this conversation too
It's sad.
last night when we were out.
It's fucking sad. Sorry.
You don't realize the people you connect with until like you kind of get deeper in to people's lives, because at the end of the day, it was kind of weird because we were comparing back and forth our like situations. Me and her were both, the youngest children. Me and her both had issues with
And
our.
who is this lady? I just need to.
My friend,
What's her friend's name? What's your friend's
You
name?
know,
Shout
who
out
we're
to
talking
who?
about. I already said her name. I don't know why. Well, I don't know why I'm fucking like playing around it. But Savannah, my friend, the person that I've talked to about a lot of shit and shit like that.
You
feel
get
comfortable-
vulnerable.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
Like we were talking about our situations and we were kind of comparing like both how we felt and like the shit we dealt with and the shit with our parents. And when you start connecting the dots, you're like, yo, like this is why we fucking fuck with each other so much and we connect with each other so much, because we connect on a level of pain and hurt that not everybody else connects with. Because this is how we talked about it. It's like, I don't want to be friends with some fucking Beverly Hills boohoo bad bougie bitch that fucking never went through the struggle. So when I try to tell her my situation, she just sits there and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." No, I would rather, talk to somebody.
I want some damaged goods.
Yeah, I want to talk to somebody that's been through the same situation that can give insight and can also feel what I felt. I don't want to fucking talk to somebody that's not going to know what's going on and just sit there and say, "Oh, you're all right. I'm sorry you feel that way." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's the same way what you're seeing,
that's
kind of
why
dealing with.
that's the same
They
way.
may have never went through that, so they don't know how to connect with you on that level.
That's why I don't really relate with my brothers that well.
Right, because they haven't had to deal with the shit you dealt with.
I relate with my sister a lot.
Because she's been through it.
She's been through it.
She's the only one
And my
that
thing
knows what you've
is
been
you
through.
bring this shit up, and I just want to say, like, I've talked about this on the podcast before, like, the trauma that my mom has caused me.
Amen,
And we're talking about my dad here, and I don't want to bash him, but this is my fucking podcast. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want.
You're damn straight you can.
But this was, a year, I'd say 2 years ago, whatever. I was fucked up. I was emotional one night, and I was just crying. And I don't usually do that.
He don't cry ever.
And
bro.
I was sitting there, and, like, I was just having one of them days, and, like, I don't quite remember what brought it on, but I was talking to him about, like, my mom and shit or whatever was going on. And he looked at me and he was like, "Why don't you just forget about it? It's over now. Just forget about it."
That's shitty.
That's what he said to me. My whole childhood trauma. It's over now. Why don't you just forget about it?
I mean, I understand that because, like, not telling anybody's story, but basically, I know someone that kind of dealt with the same thing. They went through a traumatic event, and
like
they're,
a fucking 18, like a whole lifetime experience.
Right.
Why don't you just forget about it?
But
It's
it was,
over now.
it wasn't necessarily.
You're an
like,
adult now. It's over.
You're not allowed to have those feelings
the-
anymore.
Right.
Let's just talk about this, how the whole basis of psychology and how you are going to be is your relationship with your parents. Let's just talk about that.
Oh, I'd love to. This is perfect.
So you're saying basically that your being is straight affected by what you grow up and see around as
Yeah,
your
that's
parents.
fucking psychology.
We get a
You
lot
didn't
of-
go to college, so I get
Well,
it.
yeah, and I didn't take psychology, so but I'm
Yeah,
saying like
I took a lot of psychology
I understand
courses,
I
yeah.
understand the concept of that, but like I was saying, like I don't want
Sorry,
to
I
tell
didn't mean to be
I don't want
rude.
to tell anybody else's story or anything either. But like it was the same situation because like there's certain person went through a traumatic event or whatever with a significant other or kind of one of them situations, and basically like the people that you expected to protect you and understand your situation basically sits there and tells you like that didn't happen, or they don't believe you, or they're like,
You're
just
not
get it.
good enough.
Yeah, just get over it, and like, why are you still upset about it? And it's like,
No, it's
at the end of the day,
be a little
yeah,
bitch.
yeah. But at the end of the day, that person's literally sitting there, and like, if they would just sit down and listen to what I was listening to, that shit affects that person every single day. You know what I mean? They go through that. That whole fucking traumatic event replays in their mind every single day, and you're not willing to sit down and take the time to just listen.
Well, no, the thing,
and realize,
thing about me
and
is
be like, damn, like, oh, maybe it doesn't. Like, if he's bringing it up now, and it's been years, and it's been months or whatever, like,
stuck.
it obviously still affects him. So instead of just jumping to the point and being like, oh, why the fuck are you upset about it? Maybe actually sit down and think, be like, oh, maybe, they are feeling this way, or maybe there is something wrong with them, or it is affecting them in some sort of way. We understand that, but the older generation and shit like that just don't. I think they just never really had to deal with a ton of it, or if they did deal with it, they just suppressed it all and act like nothing ever happened.
The thing is about them is they fuck their whole life up, and you look at their life and you're like, damn, like, you don't know how to love motherfuckers. Your marriage is failing. Like, your kids are fucking up. Like, and you're just sitting there like, I did my best. Fuck.
Yeah,
I'm scot-free now.
You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, if we're going to boil this down, this is one thing that I want to bring up. Like, me and my sister, like, the shit we went through is, like, so much different, and it's on a whole different level than the things that my little brothers had to go through.
Oh, damn straight. I'm glad you said that.
I remember.
They had no idea.
There was this one time, my oldest brother, I'm not going to say his name because I'm not saying names anymore. He looked at me and he said, "How was your life different than mine?"
Oh, I would have slapped the shit out of him.
He said that to you?
"How was your life different than mine?"
I said that to you.
And I said, "You don't even want to know the half of it. You don't want to know the things I've seen."
You've been born into a cozy house where everything's been taken care of, and you've gotten whatever you wanted.
No.
You weren't sitting at your grandparents' house while your dad was out doing whatever, and your mom wasn't around, and all that bullshit. You weren't being raised by somebody else. You had your parents there. You had somebody that was giving in every one of your needs and every one of your wants and shit. Where you was sitting
everything
there,
you would have wanted,
and you were sitting there wondering when the fuck was who gonna come home, when the fuck was somebody gonna come see you.
You never had to sit there and wonder when the fuck am I gonna see my mom again?
Am I going to get a letter in the mail just to say, hey, are you still alive?
When am I going to see my mom again?
Ever.
She said she's going to pick me up today, but I might see her fucking next Christmas.
What do I do with a Mother's Day gift card?
Maybe next Christmas. That's a fucking, that's a wishful thought. Maybe next Christmas. Next thing you know, it's been 5 years. Who knows? Then she pops up again. Tells me she's married this fucking new man that's going to pay for my college.
She's going to do amazing
and it's crazy. It's crazy because this happened right before I was going to college. It's like my mom always knew how to pop up right when she knew that she could come up with some bullshit to make me think that she could help me.
To rope you in.
She always did that shit.
Mm-hmm.
What can I suck at?
And one of the things that I found out recently about her is she always said that she would make me birthday cards and put them in the mail, and my parents wouldn't show them to me.
Dude, I got the same thing.
That was all a lie.
I'm sure it was.
She never did.
I'm sure. Because I don't think your dad would have hid that
I
from
think
you.
parents.
No, I think your dad's a shit.
I think my mom told me this one of the last times I seen her, a year ago or some bullshit. I don't know. She said, I messed up, but I felt like you were better off if I just wasn't around.
Can we take a break?
I mean,
can I take a break and y'all keep going?
I mean, if you want to, yeah, take yours. If you gotta go check on you know who.
Yeah, and I gotta smoke.
I need to smoke too.
And I gotta
We'll be right
We're
back.
taking a commercial. All right.
I'm in my fucking head right now, and I just need to smoke.
Hey, we'll take a quick commercial break.
Without us.
Thanks everybody for putting through the hard time right now.
Hey, this
we'll
is
be-
real ass fucking shit, and I know a lot of you motherfuckers can relate.
We'll be right back.
I'm not apologizing for shit.
We'll be right back.
Be right back.
A little bit more.
We're back on the Noaconlyfans podcast.
And we back.
After a quick little reset, after we hashed it out on the smoke break.
And
It's probably gonna happen again.
some emotional motherfucking shit, but I'm gonna go ahead and defend myself real quick.
No, it's beautiful.
Because
no
I'm the
reason to defend
motherfucker that,
yourself.
I mean, I've just always been the motherfucker that's gonna speak the real. And I know there are some people out here that are going through or have went through the
10
same
times.
type of things that all of us have been through. Or each of us individually, it's a little different, but it all stems to be the same. We all been through some trauma. We're all trying to get through it. It doesn't matter. It's all a process. It's not something that happens overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that we go through just make us who we are. And at the end of the day, that's just how it is. The things and everything that you've been through, every good thing, every bad thing, every traumatic event, every love gone wrong, everything that you have been through makes you who you are at this very moment. And I stand by that. Because if I had not been through the things that I've been through, if Big Crispy hasn't been through the things that he has been through, if Label Robinson has not been through the things that he has been through, he would not be the man that he is today.
And I still got a lot of work to do.
Hey, we all got a lot of fucking work to do. I got a lot of work to do. But it's all about growth. It's all about the process. Things will happen when they do, and that's just how it is. We all working to be the better version of what we are today.
Rather stand out and be outstanding.
So if you're feeling down in the dumps, if you're feeling like you are not the man that you should be today,
Or woman.
or woman, or whatever
Let's
you
be
would
honest.
like to be,
I love that you said that, bro.
whatever you identify as, I identify as long dick and thick dick, but we ain't gonna talk about that today.
Jesus.
Whatever you identify as, you can be better. You can achieve the things that you have been thinking about, the business ideas that you have thought up in your head, the thing that you thought you should hit your best friend up about and talk about, hey man, I think we can do this joint. Hit them up. You can do it. You can be better than what you are right now. And I am speaking from the heart right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
true facts.
another thing I got to say. Motherfucker, don't be sneak dissing this fucking podcast. I don't give a fuck who you are. I guarantee you
Oh, God.
that me and Big Crisp and any guest we have on here do not give a fuck about your problems.
Nobody gives a fuck if you have a little coke party every now and then.
had problems, man. We've all had problems. And the first thing I got to say is, we don't give a fuck.
Hey, on the real though, I think a helpful, I guess you could say a helpful tip or, a lesson people can take out of this episode.
A helpful hand.
Yeah. Why don't you, how about we do this? How about we all list
Oh, I like this. I like this.
one good coping mechanism that we use in our personal lives to help
can't say.
overcome, to maybe just let other people know what we use, and maybe they can take that and use it in their lives if they don't know necessarily how to handle the shit like we've gone through and how we've coped with it. I feel like it'd be helpful, whether it's affirmations or you're watching speeches and shit like that, or
Even meditation.
certain something you were telling yourself, or a certain thing you've been doing, if it's whether it's like therapy or something.
How about this? How about a coping
whatever.
mechanism that you wish you did use? Because, motherfucker, I feel like none of us got the best coping mechanism.
No.
Well, I'm not saying that, but I mean, out of the, you've obviously used some type of mechanism throughout your years to get here. So what is the one that you would say, even if you haven't used it, what is the one coping mechanism or the biggest thing
That's
that you would want to share with somebody else for them to, listen and maybe use in their life or apply towards their issues they're going through? It could be something simple or it could be something complicated. It really don't matter. I mean, it's all in your opinion what helps you.
I feel like, this is one thing that's always been a way of coping with my issues in a positive way. Physical activity has always been like, that's why the job that I do, I'm not going to say who I work for or what I do, as I never do. But like, that's one thing that I do like about my job is when I'm doing my job, I can forget about everything. Mm-hmm. Because I'm so focused on doing this. I'm fucking do fast as fuck.
Staying busy.
Doing what I'm doing, and that's it. You forget about, I feel like physical activity for me, like, and this goes back to when I was 8-9 years old. My stepmom always used to do this, make me just like, she realized that like when I was doing physical activity type shit or anything fast paced.
What'd she do?
She knew that was what was the thing for me.
That's how you found yourself.
And when I started doing what I was doing 4 years ago at the place I'm at, she was like, "Yeah, you found something to like." To really go along with your ADHD. And I'm like, yeah, we all got to do that. We all got to find something that intertwines with our interests and what we can do and not go crazy.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love that.
There's certain jobs that anybody could do and you're going to fucking go crazy. Just like at my job, you hear about a motherfucking story, you're like, yeah, Jeff, he was a center manager. Then he had a nervous breakdown. God damn, all right. Well, I guess he wasn't cut out for that position, right?
Right. And I mean that could be the same thing though, because like you
play
said,
your role.
You know my work. If you did my work and you had to be in an office all day and shit like that, you would go insane.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't do it. I'd last a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would hate it. You would literally hate it.
And just like when you would try to do my fucking job, you couldn't do it.
I could do it. I just wouldn't like it. I'm always gonna do my shit. When I worked at that factory shit, I worked at bust my ass off for fucking 2.5 years working the hardest line and shit like that. It was miserable.
And what did you actually do? Like, just give me some insight.
I built HVAC units for the fucking Jeep Gladiator trucks.
You're dope.
So I took like the motors, put them all together, did the wiring and shit, like put on the fucking like dope. It was fucking shitty, bro. Like I had like 32 steps to my process.
But you made shit wrong.
Yeah, and everybody else had like 10 steps to their process. I had the hardest fucking stage on the thing.
Label's just a little nervous because he got an interview at the place I'm working at.
Hey, it's cool though.
And
but
it's all good. You could do the shit, bro. I feel like you'd be fucking good at it.
I love you guys, baby.
Like at least like
thank you.
Like I don't think like, but the thing is with what I do, like I had to work
from ground.
I had to work
rock bottom for a couple years
to get to what I'm doing now.
I just want to
from the jump, bro.
So you just gotta bust your ass a little bit, bro. And I think that would be good for you too, though, because it kind of give you a sense of like structure. You may hate it, but it also kind of will be good.
It'll give me a sense of pride that I haven't felt in like 2 years.
Yeah, because you're gonna be working hard.
Paycheck again.
You'll be working hard for the money you deserve,
like,
bro.
It's like you do that shit and you're like, damn, I'm fucking tired, and then you get off and you're fucking driving home. Yourself. Yeah, you feel good. You're like, damn, I just fucking busted my ass all night. Like I rubbed my fucking dick in the dirt all night.
Bro, because sometimes, sometimes you don't want to make it. You can make money easily now, right? But it's like a lazy way of making money. You don't like it. Like it's like one of those things you don't like.
Honestly, I feel very grimy. And
It's kind of a nice thing. Like, you look at your paycheck and you're
I
like,
feel like I'm ruining people's lives.
you're like, damn, this week they put $30 in my 401k already. Shit, I done put $500 in this year. Almost like
Okay.
$500-$600 in
That's better.
that tax bullshit
so
for
much better than
retirement.
I hope it.
Whatever happened, that's so much better.
I don't know. Oh,
Oh,
well,
shit.
who cares?
Oh well.
But
I kind
I
of
mean,
want to rap a little bit.
Yeah.
well, hold up. Well, let's
We was
finish.
getting
We'll
some
finish
raw
the
shit.
mechanism, and then we can do that.
The mechanism, I like that.
Or coping mechanisms.
Yeah, I like that.
Label. What would be one of yours that you say that you've noticed you've used throughout the years to help you?
Well,
Before, or if you want me to go, I can go.
please go first too, because mine's very depressing.
So-
I'm gonna say it. Skating though
Yeah.
is the big one for sure.
Yeah.
I think
Anything athletic, just like Christian was saying.
This motherfucker label acts like I don't fucking know his ass.
Yeah,
I think
I
like
know you so
though.
fucking well, bro. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I think
Say
like
it.
my biggest one that I kind of used when I was younger and shit like that was I always embedded myself into something else, kind of like Christian says, like activity wise, but like sometimes you just get lost. Like video games was my escape for a lot of it. You know what I mean? Growing up and shit like that, I put a lot of myself in just video games and shit like that, and it kind of had a negative effect, like with like weight wise and like
Yeah.
you were
I
kind
would
of lazy
think.
and not doing anything.
No,
So, like-
I would think, dude, cyberbullying.
Like, no, yeah.
I'm not even being funny.
not
but
like
no,
that,
fuck that.
but,
No,
like-
bullying is fucking real.
I'm not saying like cyberbullying, but I'm just
I mean,
saying like a
dude.
negative effect because like you were sitting there not doing anything. But like when you lose all sense of life and like sports didn't even feel the same anymore, like nothing felt the same anymore. So like all the shit I had fun with kind of got taken away. So like that was my only escape, that like, oh, I can just lose myself in this and not like. And I was such a competitive person that like I'd take that competitive edge from sports and then just applied it to that. But then that also like led to other issues like anger, because then like I like was taking my anger from like when I was with my dad or something, and then like I was applying that when I would get upset like losing or something, and I'd get real pissed off. And then that was a whole nother fucking thing you had to overcome, because then you had to learn not to be so pissy about shit, like not to get mad about shit. Like
Why
it's just a
can't we
game.
get-
Like it's just
Why
a
can't we
game.
get
You know what I
pissy?
mean?
I think we should all get pissy sometimes.
So like eventually,
Pissy?
Yeah,
you
just
eventually
pissy.
learn to get over it. But-
I get pissy every day about something.
But I think the biggest, honestly, the biggest thing that helps now though, like
So does my girl, though. So I mean, it is. We both do it.
you're not wrong.
Everybody does it, Big Chris.
No, I get that, but I'm
50-50.
saying like nowadays, I would say that was my coping mechanism I used back then. So find yourself to apply in. But nowadays, I think my honestly biggest coping mechanism is finding somebody to entrust in, to actually have a conversation with and like speak about the shit you don't want to talk about. Cause that was one of the things I hated doing. I never wanted to talk about anything and I never wanted to discuss it. So now that like I've kind of like said good friends in my life and said people in my life, I've kind of like just do it. You know what I mean? Like, why don't you just go to therapy? Why don't you do whatever? You know what I mean? Like that. And then you didn't realize like how much it kind of helped. But then also having a person that I know I can go to any time of the day, I can call that person up, and no
Gives
matter
me a
what,
little security.
yeah, and they'll listen and they'll talk through it with me without judging or like without basically being like shitty about it, or like,
Yeah.
you know, like they've always been like, no matter what, they could be fucked up 3 a.m. drunk and they'll still fucking sit there and listen to you talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's the same, but like, no, I'm saying like, but it's the same thing back though. Like,
Yeah.
if like I'm going through some shit, they'll answer the phone. If they're going through some shit, I'll answer the phone. And like, it's just a sense of
Sponsor.
security. And it doesn't have to be a significant other or whatever. Like, it depends on whatever. It could be a friend, it could be a coworker, it could be whoever. That's someone that isn't gonna, you know, judge you or whatever. It can be literally be anybody. So find that person that you can feel comfortable with and confide in. Because I thought I found that person with the one relationship I had with my child's mother. And then when that person turned around and used everything I confided into them as like a weapon, that hurt. You know what I mean? So it took a long time to find somebody to trust in that again. And now I'm at that situation where it's like, I feel like that would never happen with the said person I talk to about shit. And it's nice because you don't have to worry, and it takes the weight off your shoulders because you're like, damn, like I can just do it without fucking feeling like there's going to be a repercussion from it.
Like in the end, I'm just gonna hurt anyway.
Yeah, like, you know, they're not gonna turn around and do some shitty shit to me. And like it was the same thing. Like there's a real conversation in there, like of a certain like thing about, oh, I was thinking about doing this, but then I considered you in the situation and decided not to do it because then I realized like how much that would like affect you. So then I chose not to do that. And it's like, you're not used to that. So then you're like, you sit back and think to yourself, you're like, damn, like somebody literally considered, hey, what the fuck would happen to him if I did this, or if I went here or I went there, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like,
switched it. Yes,
yeah. So
bro.
like, it was crazy to think about it because it's like, damn, I would never expect you to do that, but you did it without asking. And I would like, yeah, I would probably be upset, and like, I would just have to try my best to deal with it. But like for somebody to sit there and just like consider it and then make a decision without even bringing it up to you was crazy to me. And I was like, damn, like that's dope. You know what I mean? Like I was shocked by it, honestly. And it was like a big thing, but then that just like builds your connection with that person even deeper, because then you're like, damn, like this person really fucks with you in some sort of way, and like you guys are a fucking cool team together and shit like that. No, I'm saying like we are like you people work well with each other, and it's just one of those things. It's like it just works well with each other, and it's one of those things like why would you give that up when you have somebody that you're like, damn, like this person can make my life better in whatever situation you kind of go through.
You guys can build each other up.
No, yeah, just like something cool like that, nothing crazy.
I've never heard you talk like this, bro. So
I know it's just weird because it honestly, like, it's been such a long time, and like it's one of those things like me and Christian have talked about and shit like that. It's not like a necessarily like, instead of doing that whole relationship searching, falling in love and getting hurt that I was doing for many of years. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like learn just to like not give a fuck about that and more give a fuck like just
can I be around
being cool with somebody. Yeah, yeah.
I feel like you're at the moment where you're like, just let things be what it be.
Yeah, I just let things be what it be, and I'm glad to have the people in my life that I do, and that's that. And whatever happens in the future happens in the future. I don't give a fuck. I'm not stressing it. I'm not, hoping somebody does this. I'm not hoping somebody does that. I'm just living in the moment and, enjoying the company I have, and that's that.
I got a question for both. I got a question for both y'all.
Yo, what's up?
Okay, this is something that I've been thinking about because 5 days a week I sit there and I spend a lot of time by myself while I'm doing the job that I do. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about, like, do you ever feel like the time alone with yourself could be a bad thing? Because I was thinking about this, like, when I'm by myself sometimes and, like, I'm thinking about something that makes me mad and then it's on my mind. Then I'm thinking about it. I'm by myself, like I'm doing my job, whatever.
Are these on days you don't call Big Crisp up and talk for 3 hours?
I don't really talk like.
And if he calls you and literally talks
no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But
no,
Christian, when Christian's going through some shit, sometimes he just be calling me and venting, and I like it.
No, I love that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Sometimes I get frustrated. I'm like, damn, bro, I really don't want to be talking right now.
Yeah,
but I listen to his problems.
But think about it from my perspective. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm doing my shit, I'm by myself. I'm not listening to no music, I'm just doing my shit. And then I'm mad about something. Of course, I'm mad about that shit. Time goes on, I'm doing my job, I'm by myself, and I just keep fixating.
You keep festering it, yeah.
That grudge is
thinking about, like, why the fuck that happened, and just stupid. It's just stupid ass
like, why
bullshit.
to me? Like, why?
No, it's just more like I just fixate on it. I'm
give me an example. Hey, give me an example. Because This is the first I've ever heard of this. So give me a hypothetical, just any type.
Okay,
just
say
get more in depth with it because I'm a little lost.
Okay, just a for instance thing.
Sweet.
Say my grandpa died and he was gonna give me a pair of shorts, and my brother took them pair of shorts, and I found out about it while I was at work. So I'm sitting there at work and I'm by myself and I'm sitting there just thinking about it. You know, and I'm still doing my job. I'm still by myself for hours on end. And then once you're mad about something, you're thinking about like, what the fuck did they do that shit for? Or then you look at it from another perspective. Like, that's just how my shit is going. Like, when I'm by myself.
Yeah, I remember that exactly.
So that's why I'm asking.
I can relate to this.
Do you feel like being by yourself can also create some negative things?
I can relate to this because
for your fucking mental health.
When I worked at Guardian and I was doing meter reading, I was
what
basically
is Guardian?
It is a water and power company.
That's cool.
And I was doing meter reading for them, and basically kind of like Christian's job, where I was I was basically my own boss all day. Right?
Cool.
So every day, not really every day, about probably twice a week, I was going to the office. In the morning, I would pick up my routes or what I needed to do for the week, and then I would basically do them. So every morning I would wake up and basically drive to the location or whatever. So whatever was affecting me that day, I was basically in my car driving everywhere, and whatever was going on, you're left in your own head during that whole time. You can be sitting there, I'm walking the property, I'm fucking reading all these meters, I'm writing down numbers and shit like that. But something could have happened and I could just be pissed off, like, damn, bro, like, I'm really pissed at, XYZ, or like, why the fuck this happened with my baby mama, or like, why the fuck's this going on in life or whatever, like, damn, I'm broke, like, my car's fucking up, shit like that. You really like let it, and it kind of hurts you in the long run at times if you're not strong enough to deal with it. Because then it can start affecting your performance at work. And that's like, in some days it did do that. There was some days when I was working doing that shit, and like, I had to cut the day short because I was like, bro, like, I was so mentally exhausted. I didn't want to do it. So I just went home, and that was fine because I was able to do that, but I just had to turn around and make up my time on Saturday. So if I wasn't extending my day throughout the week, like, so if I cut early on Tuesday and I was like, I got to finish, the half of this route, and then I'm behind on the rest of my routes for the week. So then I'm kind of like going through, hitting the last bit of things. There was a couple times where I had to go out on Saturday and fucking work on Saturday when I wasn't supposed to be working, but I didn't say anything.
I know all about that, buddy.
I know. I just busted my shit. I did what I had to do, and I got my routes done and stuff for the week. And
team player.
Yeah, so basically, like, I put my own personal shit aside, and I sacrificed a lot of time because my mental health affected me in a negative way. But, I still made sure to get the job done and shit. And then now it's kind of in a different situation where even now, like, sitting in the office and shit like that, it's weird because you're around other people, but you're doing a job basically where you're just fucking staring at a computer all day a lot of times, and like pushing shit through there. So it's like kind of different, because you kind of still are in your own head, but I find ways to distract myself. But now, like I said, with the recent kind of position change and everything I took that I really just haven't spoke on because it's like so new still, and it's just kind of figuring everything out. Now I'm so overwhelmed.
Damn.
And it's still affecting in a negative way, because then it's like I'm stressing all the time now because I'm trying to learn something completely new to me, and then also be responsible for
3 or 4 other things.
No, being responsible for other people. That's the biggest thing now, because now I have to worry about, I'm doing all the training for new people. I'm doing all this for people. I'm doing the interviews. I'm making sure the office is running completely fine, and like our shit. And I'm defending other people when something goes wrong or they mess up or whatever. I'm basically taking all the brunt of it now, and I get shit on by everybody else, which then also affects the shit that I dealt with mental health wise. And I have to learn to cope with that now because it's like I don't want my people to get yelled at for doing something because like that's not as an employer, like as a manager, I guess you can say.
Oh, he's a manager.
As a manager versus being
Chris
shut the fuck up.
is a manager.
As being a manager versus being an employee. Being an employee, you really don't get shit on for something when you mess up. You know what I mean? Usually they go to like you
Falls
don't see
to the highest rank.
Yeah, they'll let you know you fucked up, but they won't really like shit on you. But being a manager position or whatever, you really don't realize like how much they fucking take until you're taking it. And I'm sitting there and I stand up for somebody and then I get told basically I'm a piece of shit and my opinion doesn't matter and blah, 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 this, that. And then you have to sit there and think to yourself, damn, like this person I really fucked with as an employee that I thought had my back is literally sitting here telling me like, you're fucking wrong. Like you fucked up.
That.
Yeah. You like it kind of like you kind of change your perspective with people, but I get it. It's business. That's businesses for you though. That's how some work is. So like
decent.
it's a decent change. It's a change, and you know it's kind of a way to it's kind of a thing to figure out. But it's working. I'm working through it, bro. It's fine. I ain't got an issue with it, but I'm never gonna. That's one of my things though. Is I was telling people like I never want to fail for Liliana, so I'm never gonna fail for my team either though, because I feel responsible for them. So I'm gonna make sure their life's good. I'm gonna make sure they're happy and everything, and I'm gonna do what I have to do to make sure they're good because you never know what's going on through someone's life. We had one fucking person at work where their car's been breaking down lately and shit like that, and they were having
heard
issues.
all the shit.
No, their car's been breaking down, and their kids were sick and shit like that, and it was like, okay, here's how I look at it. My boss beforehand, not this boss that I loved, but my technical supervisor beforehand was the type of person that wasn't very understanding, right? And was kind of shitty when it came to situations like that, where there was a situation where my car broke down, my alternator went out before I got my new car, and I was out of work for 3 days trying to fix it myself because I didn't have money to pay somebody else to fix it. So I bought the part and I was trying to fix it myself. So I was thinking about that in my situation.
Looked up that YouTube video.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking to myself in that situation, I'm like, okay, I've been in this person's situation before, and I was kind of, like not very understood, and they were kind of pissed off. They're like, why you got to take 3 days, blah, blah, blah. Why you got to take 3 days to do it? When I turned around and I told her, I was like, listen, like, it's cool. Like, I understand. And like, she's a newer employee, you know what I mean? So like as a person of, upper power, like she kind of took that as a very positive way and was like, thank you for being so understanding. Like I never thought somebody could kind of be so understanding in the situation, because usually with it being a new employee, she probably would have been fired by now by some people, you know what I mean? Being within like your first couple weeks or whatever. But I'm like, no, like I get it, because I went through the same shit. And I'm not going to fault you for, something happened to you that's out of your control. Yeah,
you're not going to be
like, yeah, you're going to kind of, have an understanding for people. But what they don't see is they don't see you getting yelled at for defending that person and why they're not there and why, well, this person's new. Why they've been off for 3 days. What the fuck's going on? And it's like, yo, like, this is what's going on. They've been very transparent about the situation. I said it was cool. If you got a problem with it, yell at me about it. I really don't give a fuck.
No, yeah.
And and then at the turn though, even though I'm super busy and I got a ton of shit going on, I'm sacrificing my time to do their work so they're caught up. So when they come back, they're not overwhelmed with their workload because they just were overwhelmed with life. So I did everything to make sure they were good in a situation where basically when they came back on Friday, that they had a day where they were chilling and could just be like they've been there for the last couple of days because they've been going through some shit in life. And it put me behind, but you know what I did? I just worked extra to get back, call back up. I stayed an extra hour to catch myself up.
Hey, I forgot to tell you something about having me this week.
That's amazing, by the way. It's amazing, dude.
I mean, it's the little things that people. It's the little things that people. It's the little things that people don't see. But the good karma is going to come back eventually and bless me. Is how I kind of see it.
Well, we get out what we put into the earth.
Yeah,
for sure.
Get what you give out here.
For real.
Get what you give. I mean, for real.
Damn Skippy.
Anyways, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
Never mind.
Shit.
I kind of want to rap.
You guys want to spit on some beats real quick?
My mind is going a million miles an hour.
Can we smoke first or no? Probably
I mean,
not,
yeah,
right?
if we can end the podcast. We make it a shorter podcast, and then we can do a separate. We just do
Hey, yo,
some rapping and shit
It's
like
up
that. I'm
to
fine.
it's up to the Funky Bunch.
Or unless you want to keep it on the podcast, that's up to you. Though I don't know
That's
if you
up
want a
to you guys,
2-hour
bro.
episode.
You
No,
guys
we can
are
end
no
it,
way.
just do it.
I say it. Let's just end this. I think it was a good, it's a heavier podcast, and it was a lot of things to take in. So I feel like it's better to kind of
On
keep
the
it
next
short.
episode, I'll talk about what happened to me this week.
I
You
absolutely
sure?
loved it. I absolutely loved
Is it quick? You want to talk about it now? I mean, is it
Well,
bad? Like what?
It's bad, good, whatever way you want to take it.
Oh, let's not do that before we're out. Are you sure you can
That
do
management, the
Hell
management motherfuckers was on my ass this
I
week.
can
They
hear it.
followed me and
that? What?
For
trying-
what?
What?
I feel like he's shysted this.
Oh,
You
yo,
being for real?
Christian
Hey,
don't
ask
make
my
mis-
girl. Ask my
You
girl
being for
if I'm
real?
lying.
So why were they on your shit for no
Yeah,
reason?
Christian don't make
Because
mistakes.
we got these cameras in the truck.
Oh shit!
They caught me apparently 17 times on a handheld device.
Oh, that's all the times Christian was calling me.
Nah, this was a couple days. I didn't call you because I was probably
go with the tone.
texting my girl.
You guys were arguing back and forth.
No, we wasn't arguing. I was just trying to tell my girl how I wanted to get home, clap them cheeks.
All right.
Jesus, bro.
But anyway, hey, one thing
know
one thing that I've always been good at, it's talking my way out of some bullshit.
So what? So you basically. So what did you say? You say the camera's faulty?
Oh,
I said, she was like, well, the way the camera works is it films on the outside. So basically what happened was they didn't allow the cameras to film on the inside of like my driving range and what me in general. And all the camera said was a handheld device. So I said, all right, well, what do you think I was doing? You followed me. And she's like, I didn't catch you doing anything. And I was like, okay, well, I was like, it might have been my vape. I keep that in my hand.
Oh,
Even
that's
though
what I was thinking.
that wasn't what it was.
Oh.
Because I know when you vape, it doesn't go off. It was because I was on my phone.
So
I was
you,
on my phone.
So you talked your way out.
No,
of it.
as a matter of fact, I think it's because I was literally driving for 20 minutes and I was on the phone with Dennis, so I had my phone up like.
Yeah, but if you're on the phone with your person, like
It doesn't fucking matter, bro.
that's a
You're
fellow
not. You're not
employee, though, right?
supposed to do that.
I guess I get it.
The camera goes off, but like it doesn't record from the inside. I don't know.
So
don't,
does it
don't
record-
ask me.
It just records.
It
the
knows what
outside?
you're doing, so that's the major grievance that's going on at the national level. It knows what you're
knows
doing,
what you're doing.
but it doesn't record it apparently. But when you're getting disciplined or when they bring it up,
Oh, they
they
got
show
everything.
the foot. No, when they show the footage, it's only from the outside. They
That's
view
weird.
what you're driving towards.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, all right, shit, I looked at that, I'm like, they ain't got proof of shit I'm doing.
Let
So,
alone
of
they
course,
don't
that's-
show you.
That's
the fucking
that's
truth,
what I
but-
just. I'm like, I'm not really sure what I was doing. What was I doing?
You tell me.
The only evidence you have is what I'm driving towards. Yeah. So was I on my phone? Yeah. Well, we don't. She's like, I'm not really sure what it is. We don't really know what it is. And she's like, I think it might be your vape. You always have it in your hand. I'm like, yeah, that's probably what it is.
That's funny as fuck, Fred.
Anyway, let's fucking end this shit. I'm sorry. Well, actually, I'm not sorry because
I'm not
I
sorry.
let you guys know some shit that you didn't know about me. And for the day one listeners, hey, you learned something very deep about one of the hosts of this show that you dive deep in. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. You know, and I know there's a lot of motherfuckers out here that have been through something similar to what I've been through or something the same as what I've been through. And maybe I help you a little bit or maybe you could reach out to this podcast and tell me how you handled something similar to what
Hell
I've been
yeah.
through. I would love
like
that. I would love some insight on what we've talked about today. I would love some new topics. on what some things we will react to or some things that we would talk about and our insight on certain subjects, I would fucking love that shit. So if you want to reach out, do that shit. You learned a little bit more about C. Klein tonight. And Big Crispy, what the fuck you got to say?
Well, I was going to see if Label had it. And you know I always close it out.
You like, I thought I was going to go out.
I always close it out, bro.
Nah,
That's my thing, son.
He likes closing
We go
it
into
out.
Song of the Day. I close that shit out.
Yeah,
I
that's
give
true,
words
that's
of
true, right.
encouragement. You know what? That's just how I do it.
I feel you. What Christian was saying about literally just, if you really relate to anything that we're really like talking about, yeah, I don't know anything about the comments or anything. Yeah, just definitely get in touch with them too, because what he said, which fully blew my mind, because I've known this man for a very long time, and I did not know he felt that type of way. That has helped me feel at least 25% of me feeling free again. So, thank you, Christian. And
No
thank
problem,
you, Tyler.
brother.
Love you guys.
Hey,
See, like, literally, I was 2
Even
seconds.
Big Chris was crying.
No, it
you
was
got
the
me
whole
crying,
thing,
which
bro.
is very hard because, like,
Dude, yeah, bro.
I don't know. That was just like that's one of the few times I've seen
Dude.
Christian cry
Bro,
throughout
He
the
made my
years,
girl
Please.
cry.
the
She's in
years
the
and
audience
years
right now.
of being friends. That's like the third time, maybe,
Yeah,
maybe the
literally,
second.
Hey,
Maybe
I
a
don't be
second for
talking about
me.
my issues and shit.
I know,
be
I
thinking
know.
about.
Issues need some tissues, young pinch.
I got issues.
They can't be fixed by tissues or I misuse.
All right, I did not choreograph that, but that was so
Me and
slick,
Big Chris
guys.
for 2 peas in a pod.
Hey, yeah.
Fight
That's
me.
why we got a fucking podcast.
But I just want to. It's gonna be a powerful closeout, I guess you could say. But I'm gonna first start it off by saying like I'm proud of all my friends and I'm thankful
Oh my
for all
God.
them
Dude, so
and them, being in our lives and shit and doing better for themselves. And you just each day you guys are turning around, making it better for yourselves and doing better things, and you're learning. So thank you for also letting me be a part of that.
dude, you're so fucking awesome, bro.
And that motherfucker's gonna cry over there now because it's funny.
Dude, you melting me, man.
But
You melting me like
also,
that, too.
God
also to
issues.
all the listeners, bro, and all the people out there, like this podcast may have opened your eyes to some things, may made you feel some type of way. Maybe you cried or some shit like that or whatever. But we're also proud of you, and we thank you for listening every single day. And I hope you took something out of this to better your life, and just know that you are doing good and you are strong and you're getting through shit. And it may not seem like you're doing the best, but you're doing the best that you can do. So don't ever let anybody, I guess, sit there and tell you that what you're doing to cope with things or what you're doing to get through your situation isn't right, because there is no right way to do it. And you're doing what you can do. And, it may not be 100%.
The best way you can do.
Yeah, it may not be 100%, but you're doing what you're doing. And, we appreciate you for listening. We appreciate you for being you, and we appreciate you for being here. And keep on chucking along and get through the shit and, keep fucking making your day and your life better one day at a time. That's all you can do, one step at a time.
Dude, I've been stuck.
I got one thing to say.
All right, because we're
This
going to do
has
Song of the
do-
Day after.
Yeah, this is what has to do with what you said. Mod's son said something that stuck with me very closely. And he said, if you're going through something, if you're trying to recover from addiction, if you're trying to get through mental health issues or anything like that, get you a camera out, hit record, and fucking talk about it. Post that
Damn.
shit online, because basically what he said was, I will guarantee you that somebody will comment under that shit and tell you that they're going through something very similar to what you're going through.
That's
And
beautiful.
those type of comments will fucking help you.
Yeah, that's beautiful, dude.
For real.
That's absolutely.
And I wasn't trying to take away from your ending, but if you guys are going through anything that you maybe need some insight, maybe need something that we need to talk about, maybe some perspectives that are different from yours, and maybe a little bit of advice,
Yeah, hella advice, bro. for
please
real.
hit us up, and feel free to hit us up. You got our socials. We be, we'd be totally down to help
I've said to anybody, whatever. I don't care if I don't know you. I don't care if I've known you for 10 years.
Don't keep your voice silent.
If you need somebody, huh? Girl advice too.
Girl advice,
girl advice. Hit up Rachel.
For real.
But like, I've always been open about it. You know, I don't care. I don't care. Like I said, I could know you. I don't know you. I'll always give you an ear to listen to, and I give you my best advice. You don't have to take it. You don't have to use it. But you know what? If you want someone to talk to, fuck, hit it up. It's no big deal.
Just don't silence your voice out.
Yeah. Don't feel like your feelings aren't fucking, worth it, or your feelings are muted.
Even if none of us,
if
we got a comment, none of us even understand half of what you're going through, we're still going to try to attempt to put ourselves in them shoes so we can relate and help you feel a little bit better about yourself. Because when we help you, you're honestly in the end helping me too.
There you go. That's why I like doing it, because I help other people and I help myself along the way. Because I be telling people shit that I need to take my own damn advice, like Christian said last episode. Goddamn, Big Crispy, you need to take your own advice on that situation.
They don't know about that episode. It got canceled.
Oh, yeah.
So just so you
know what's funny though?
Know.
The episode that we thought would get canceled, that I literally titled "Oh no, we're canceled again," didn't get canceled. But the episode we accidentally say something, a story, that gets canceled. Oh well. Who cares?
That's how it goes. I listened to that episode. I was like, I'm trying to be real good.
We're being positive.
Hey,
who gives a fuck?
All I hear is they don't want you to meet American, and I don't like
it's
that.
It's okay. We're being positive now. Hey,
it's
we're
always
moving on.
positive.
Hey,
I feel like
it's always been positive.
What you got?
We about to end this motherfucking podcast, and we about to start rapping on some beats because my head is going crazy right now.
Straight up.
I just want to spit.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
I gotta say,
that's my coping mechanism.
Avilda # Hebrew Hammer. Follow me at LABELROBINS 2019. If you don't, fuck yourself.
Hey, follow that motherfucker, and I'm gonna throw my girl shit out tonight at gmail.com.
I'm in so much trouble.
I thought you was actually gonna drop for social.
I'm gonna throw my shit out tonight.
You drop
Ooh. Yeah, I do. I put it on there. I'll put it up there. I don't give a fuck. But this song of the day kind of fits. Christian's been feeling this song.
Oh, dude,
a little bit.
I know I haven't heard it. So
is my girl. So is my girl.
Somebody basically, this person. Hey, if you think about it, this person changed their life because they didn't want to be a stereotype anymore, right? And they're how they were making music. Yep. So you know what? This was
a major part of our fucking teenhood right here.
Right. This is the new and improved Mike. Life got crazy. We will see you again here next Friday. We appreciate you. We love you. Have a good weekend.
Good night, babies.
And we'll see you
classy, San Diego.
next time.